let me ask you this. I know we talked about the term friendship and the meaning of that and not using it loosely, but when it comes to those close friends that you have, right? The ones that you consider close to you, how have you been able to maintain those friendships after all of these years being in different places?
Wow. How do I maintain my long distance friendships?
Yes,
Long
ma'am.
distance friendships. Yes. So majority of my closest friends are in Texas, honestly. They're in Texas. So what we do, well, of course, COVID, post COVID, now everybody's trying to get out and travel and things like that. But during COVID, I mean, it was difficult. So of course, you had to find creative ways.
Yes.
So everyone has an iPhone. I have an Android. So it was hard for me to, FaceTime or okay, so this is what I would normally do. Of course, we would call. Okay, of course, make a phone call. Text messages became more prevalent during for me, COVID-19.
Yeah.
So now I had to find new ways and get creative. So Zoom meetings, of course, set up a Zoom, right? You have to get creative with the FaceTime. I didn't have FaceTime integrated in my phone, so I had to find other ways. Like it's Duo now, Duo,
Yeah,
IMO, all of those
duo.
other
Yeah.
applications that you use now. So FaceTiming, um, calling, checking on people. That's how I maintain my relationships for so long. There is nothing. It doesn't cost you anything to say hello or hi to someone because you never know what that hi or hello means to someone. Um, and I think that's the special quality that I have that I've given to my friendships is trying to stay connected.
Yeah.
And especially I could kind of sense when things are not as good. So just being there, being supportive, being a listening ear, that's how I maintain my relationships long distance.
So it's simple. Everything you said is simple. And like
It
you said,
is.
it costs you nothing to say hello to someone. But I also understand too that when you have a connection with your friends, like you could tell when something's off, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could tell when there's a need. You could tell when, they may be going through something or whatever. And so I am working on and working through being able to send that text message. So the one of the things that I do is I schedule text messages. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about them and I know I don't have the time to like really get on a phone call, because that's the other thing too. If I get on the phone with y'all, we're gonna be on the phone all day.
And I don't have time like that.
And I'm like, oh, I don't have a dedication right now to be on the phone all day. We'll be on the party line. Look, I love y'all, but I I don't
I have to go.
I gotta maneuver, right? It's a lot of moving parts or whatever. So I do schedule text messages. I have an Android as well, and I'm a happy Android user, and I will continue to use Android. So no
Absolutely.
shade, no tea for nobody. But I do have an iPad for business. So my
Mm-hmm.
iPad has allowed me to FaceTime those friends who have iPhone or whatever. And I use Duo. I use Facebook Messenger because that's another way or whatever. I use that for family. And then over the years, like just recently in January, um I went on a trip with close friends or whatever. And so, being able to do that, like we sitting in each other's face for 4 days, that was like the best thing. And so but I knew after we left each other, like we might text each other pictures and stuff like that. But after that, it was like action. We gotta do what we gotta do to keep it moving. And so
Exactly.
I
Mm-hmm.
think when you have when you're in a situation where you have things going on as well and your schedule is just a little tight, you can be gracious and forgiving to those friends who are long distance. But if you're just sitting there with, nothing to do and you got all this time in the world to think, I think that's where some of the uncomfortableness comes from or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And being able, because you understand, I saw your text message and I thought I replied, but I did
Oh,
not.
that's me sometimes. Sometimes I'm
Like,
like, oh, I
and
didn't reply to such and such, and I'm like, let me, not have to make up. I'm like, hey, what you doing? Call me. Now I'm like, call me because I don't want you to feel neglected.
right,
So
right.
I don't
It's
want you to
those
feel neglected.
gestures, though. It's
Mm-hmm.
those gestures of
Yeah.
confirmation. And then the other thing too is like your friend, to an extent, even though we've changed over the years, okay, this friend may not need a phone call, but I might need to send her some tip tree cookies. So let me go ahead and send her those. So this friend, let me call and check on her on every birthday because she big on birthdays. So let me make sure I
Yes.
do that. So understanding your friends, we need a friend calendar, child, because who I just thought
Yes.
about all that stuff or whatever. Like